I want you to take a valuable lesson today. Never judge people by their appearance you see in life. For you just never know. You just never know. Here's a story for you. Once upon a time there lived a man in a village. Very wealthy man. So wealthy that he had no need to work because he had so much wealth. Anyway, the unfortunate thing is the people in the village hated him so much. And they all hated him because they felt that he was a Scrooge kind of person that was never giving, based on his appearance. And that's what they felt, and they kept saying it. Every time he walked past in the village, they used to just mock him and make these comments behind his back. And this is all in their eyes. That's what they believed. And this was based upon because he wouldn't give out to the poor, the needy, according to them. So somebody made up this rumor. That's how they did it, life. As usual, that's how people destroy people's lives, right? Anyway, keep listening. And in the same village, there was a butcher that had this aura about him that people thought he was a good butcher and he was so fair and so kind because he always gave the needy and help by giving free meat out every day, see? Every day, free meat. You think, how? Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that he was giving free meat to everybody, so everybody looked at him as, yes, he's the person of this village that is totally worth, saying that he's nice and he's kind and so forth. Anyway. And because of this, they used to praise him and say he was the best, never talk down or talk bad about him, or behind his back either, too. But yet, when this rich, wealthy man walked past, they would tell him, why don't you be like the butcher here, who's helping the needy, unlike you? And they're just making these really bad comments towards him, And he just kept quiet. He just kept his head down, just kept walking past, didn't say a word, didn't respond back. He just kept it to himself and kept walking. And the saddest thing is he just walked past and just smiled at them, even though they used to, some of them was just so aggressive and just so rude towards his face and saying it in front of him. Some majority will say it behind his back. That's where life is. They say it behind your back. They never say it to your face. Anyway, he kept going, but he kept smiling and just never ever responded. Never. The unfortunate thing, his day came and he passed. And he was alone because nobody came to bury him or, send him off out of this life. And then suddenly only a few turned up and they buried him. Anyway, the next day, this would all changed. The next day, everyone was chanting, thank God we got rid of this stingy old man. And they just, cheered that his departure out of life was so happy for them. Yet, little do they know what's going to come next. And they all thought of this illusion that they're going to live this life of getting free food, right? But this will all change. They all stood up in that queue, like they do every day, waiting to get that free meat. And guess what happened? There's no more free meat, right? So they all stood there and asked, why? What happened? Why all of a sudden have you changed? We lost the worst guy in this life, and you're going to be exactly like him? Unfortunately, the butcher said, get out of my shop. I'm not giving out free meat anymore because the days are over where you used to get free meat. Now, if you want, you got to pay your way in life. You all got to pay. And everyone was shocked. Everyone was shocked. So they asked him, why did you change all of a sudden? So they start questioning him. He said, the reason I change is because I had to change scenery. And the unfortunate thing is, the reason why you're not getting free meat, because the only person that used to pay for this free meat has left us today. And he swore me not to tell you all. And that's the biggest lesson for you all in life. And that's why he said, that's a lesson for you all to live. And that was his story, you see. So because his money supply cut off, the free meat got cut off in life. You see how simple that judging others and you have no clue of others, how impactful the story is. So what's the lesson? Don't judge people. Don't talk about people. Don't get into people's business when you have no clue what people's business is about in life. You never know who's doing good, who's doing bad. You need to focus on you and just be you. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Yeah. So the next time you sit there and you mock people or you talk about people, ask yourself one question. Why don't you take a look at the mirror and ask this question to yourself honestly? Are you better than that person? Does it give you the right to talk about that person? No, it don't. So remember, live your life and focus on your life. Nothing more, nothing less. You see, for the reason you may hate that person, but that's the person that's looking after you without you knowing. You just never know in life, you see. You just never know. It's sad that some hearts, some people, care about others and they don't understand what others actually do for them in life. And yet they create pain for others, and yet they don't know anything about that person's life. You just never know what's for you and what's not for you in life. You need to understand that. Anyway, I think that's enough for today. And I hope this message resonated with you like it did with me. I had to translate this message, unfortunately, and it's not word for word. So I had to do some alterations just to get the message to you out there. Just be you. Stay away from any reason for you to be negative or talk about anybody in life, because you just don't know what's everyone's story in life. That's what I need to tell you. You just never know what somebody else's story is in life. Focus on your own story, focusing on leaving value back for others, because when your time comes to, just make sure you're ready to go, and with a nice memory of you other than hateful memory of you, because the last thing you would like to hear or do in life is end up hating somebody you just don't know because of others. Don't clap with others. Never clap with others. Just remember, God gave you 2 eyes and a brain. Use it. The noise is the problem. The noise, that's what it is. We listen to all these noises and we believe all these noises. Don't. Use your heart to listen and feel too. That's it. I'm out.